Howdy, gang. Come on in, pull up a chair and relax because today I am going to take a first look and page through pretty much the entire setting for the Midderlands, which is from MonkeyBlood Design over in the UK. If you're not familiar with the Midderlands, it is a fantasy setting, and it's actually pretty much an old school revival setting as well. So if you've ever been curious about the Midderlands, well, you're going to get to see everything that, well, pretty much everything the setting has to offer right after this. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at the Gaming Gang channel. I'm going to be the grand poobah of thegaminggang.com. So, as I mentioned in the open, I am going to be taking a look at pretty much just about everything that's available right now for the Midderlands OSR fantasy setting from MonkeyBlood Design. I will point out there are a few items that were not part of the Watcher from the Shore bundle. I believe those are pretty much available in PDF only at this point. I might be wrong. Now, do want to mention that the Midderlands is from MonkeyBlood Designs. The book, well, there are three core books. We're going to look at, first off, the main book, which is written by Glenn Seal, Edwin Nagy, and Mark Nolan. You can get this entire bundle that I'm about to show you on sale right now as I record this for about $172 US. It is from the UK. I'm not sure who's stocking some of these books here in the US and who's got them available in stock, but you can get these from MonkeyBlood Designs themselves. So anyway, let's dig in because there is a lot to take a look at. So I'm going to swing on over to the other camera for us to take a peek. There is a lot that comes in the bundle, the Watcher from the Shore bundle for the Midderlands. And I'm going to show off everything that you get in this bundle, which you can get right now with the exchange rate. Everything together is $172 thereabouts. So we get a bunch of maps. We get 3 hardcover books. We get some zines. I'm going to show all that off. So first off, we've got our map of the Midderlands. So we see here, this is in full color. It is also a hex map. So we do have these hexes numbered. Very nicely done here. Very cool looking map. Then if we flip this over, we get, it's not necessarily black and white, but it is much easier to kind of make out the various different hex numbers as well on here. So that's the first of the maps. We also have, let's grab all the maps here because I'll kind of share these. They're not in any specific order. So we've got the city of Great London. I keep calling it Lunden simply because it's Lunden. I'm sure it's supposed to be the city of Great London, but unlike the real world London. So this looks like this is kind of a map of the sewers beneath the city. I have to point out this is the first time that I've been looking through all of this stuff. So plenty of this is new to me as it is to you. So this is southwest of the city. So we get a little building key here. We do have some of the buildings are marked in a different color, and those are keyed as well. So this kind of give you an idea. We do have a scale down here, tell you the scale of the map. So that's another of the maps there. Then we've got a more zoomed in map of London, and this is showing different buildings. Open this up here, kind of give you a look at that. this kind of reminds me of the old Lankmar box set that TSR came out with. That kind of style of city map. Of course, this is a little closer scale. And then we've got the southeast of the city on the back of the map. So we've got that. What else do we have for London? What do we got cooking here? Well, it looks like we got another area of the city. So here, this is the inner wards of the city. Taking a look at this map here. Once again, we have reference structures, detailed structures, noted structures. So they are color coded. So the ones that are kind of red are detailed structures. The ones that are purple are reference structures. And the ones that are pretty much white, like I see we've got gardens and park, things like that. Different streets, different dwellings. Those are marked here with a little white, as far as white. So, and on the back of this map, we've got northeast of the city. Once again, giving us some details about what's located there as well. I have heard some really great things about the Midderlands setting overall, and it really does look pretty cool. And we're going to jump into these books in just a couple of moments. So here we have the Haven Isles and surrounding lands. So, of course, those of you familiar with your geography, I'm sure this looks very, very familiar, especially if you're across the pond. So here we've got this. Once again, we've got a legend here showing some of the settlements, the city. Here's kind of a cool poster on the back of this as well, with some of the artwork from the Midderlands. Looks like we got another City of Great London map here. So what do we got here? This is the area, the city and environs. So that is this map as well. Let's see, let's flip this on over and we get northwest of the city. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Nice size maps. Very nice size maps. They're not too large to be unwieldy, but then they're also large enough to give you plenty of detail and to actually give you locations and kind of key those locations too. We did include a little thank you notice that came with this package. And it says, cool Lake Town map on the reverse. And there you go. There is a cool Lake Town map on the reverse. The goodies keep coming. We also receive a Game Master screen. So, and it's got a bunch of Midderlands related items on it. So we've got Gloom Touch deformities, traveling between the Midderlands towns, random body locations, shades of green, superior beings, weird shit. Do want to point out, each of the books does have a disclaimer on it that they contain strong language, crap you find on folk. Weather type, we've got Havenland names and trades, quick inn and tavern names, Midlands words, got a coinage conversion, simplified attack table, quick items for bartering. We've got the armor class, both ascending and descending, because the Midderlands is designed for swords and wizardry, but you can easily convert it to just about any old school role-playing game. And I also point out that from what I understand, now of course it would take you a bit of conversion, but I kind of get the impression that the Midderlands would probably be a good fit for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. So we've got a Gloomium randomizer chart. So it looks like you just drop a die to randomly generate rolls of 1 to 30. So these are all on cardstock too. Nice cardstock. And we get the open game license information on the back of this. We've got some pre-generated characters. Once again, these are on a cardstock that also has a finish on it, so it looks like you could easily use erasable markers on this. So we've got Verity Squires, who's a human magic user, Silas Fairbarn, who is a witch finder. Got Jarson Garbett, who is a cleric. Thespin Nook, who is a half-elf thief. Tessa Tennant, who is a human fighter. And Broggle of Yawmouth, who is a tasker. Must be one of the creatures in the settings. It says he's a hook-nosed wart goblin. So there you go. So he is a hook-nosed wart goblin. So we've got those. And on the back, we also have a bit of a flavor text, bit of a description of the character. Some notes, tracking hit points, loot, rooftop exploration chart here. Very nicely done. I think these are pretty cool. Pretty nice. We also have some bookmarks, and the bookmarks actually serve a couple of purposes. So we've got these bookmarks here that if we flip them over, they're actually a quick character tracker. So once again, these have a finish to them. You can use the erasable marker. So character name, experience points, level, hit points, armor class, saving throw. As I mentioned, it's for swords and wizardry, which has a single saving throw. Talking about your money as well. So got a few of these. 6 of these came with the bundle. Then we get a couple of other bookmarks that are actually scale rulers. So we've got the City of Great London, City and Environs. That's the scale here for that side. Then we have the Midderlands and Haven Islands map scale. Then we flip it over, and we get the Inner Wards and Sewer map scale, and the Rooftops map scale rulers. So we get these rulers so we can actually see the scale of the various different maps. So we can use these rulers on the different maps that we received. So we've got 2 of those that came in the bundle. We also have an iron-on patch. There you go. Boom. Put that, on your jacket or on a hat right there. I thought that was kind of funny that was included. So those are some of the extra goodies. Now let's start jumping into the actual game content, because we've got 3 hardcover books. We also have the 3 different zines that are out currently as well. So this is the Midderlands. This is the first book in the series. It's an OSR mini setting and bestiary. So we open it up. We see here is an example of the Midderlands character sheet. Got that right there. That has a very old school vibe to it, that's for sure. So we're going to page on through this. I am going to be reviewing these books in the very, very near future. I have not had a chance to, I take that back. I have had a chance to start looking through these. I have not, because when I do an unboxing or I do a first look page through, I like to kind of be surprised. Just like those of you at home who are watching, this is all new to me too. I have heard some things about the Midderlands itself, that it is basically kind of a take on the Midderlands of England. And of course, we've got the City of Great London is probably based on London itself. But of course, this is a fantasy role-playing setting here. So we've got currency. I like the artwork so far. Got equipment, weapons, and armor. Got some heraldry for some of the different towns. We've got locations of the Midderlands. So we've got some hamlets. It's going to be talking about, looks like we've got some cool maps of each of the hamlets, kind of giving us some information, some specifics. I can see right here, I notice we've got like a little color-coded side area for you to kind of quickly jump to what you might be looking for in the book itself. I think that's kind of cool. I like that. That's kind of neat. So then we get into small towns. Looking at some of the small towns here. And it seems like a vast majority of them do have maps. Now we're getting into large towns. It's Leachfield. All right, so going through some of the towns here. Now we get some points of interest. Blacken Rock, Bognock Windmill, Dunningley Castle. I would take a stab in the dark that this probably has a bit of a little bit of a sense of humor to itself too. Now I can't say that for certain because I have not read through any of this, but usually we see that when the authors are from across the pond from us. Here in the U.S., we tend to kind of take our fantasy role-playing games maybe a little too seriously, where over in England, not so much. So we do see we've got some different items here. We got some spells. See, we've got Gloomium's Shield. I do understand that there's supposed to be some sort of element called Gloomium. And it's, I would take a guess, I think it's almost like it's like a radioactive element that maybe it causes mutations or something like that. So here it looks like we're getting into the bestiary. Artwork is really nice. We got creatures of the Midderlands. We got some size comparisons here. That's cool. The Lesser Havenland Night Goblin. Okay. Yikes. That's pretty nasty. Large-nosed Garden Goblin. Kind of flipping through here. A good number of creatures here. Greater Horned Groot. Looks like we get quite a good amount of information about these too. So we get location, activity, eating, fight or flight, a bit of a description, motivations, traits and mannerisms, equipment, and then layer and valuables. Cool. I like how that's broken down. Spell Eater. Oh, that could be some trouble, huh? The Red Lure Stickleback. Water Ghost. Ah, here we go. Hook-nosed Wart Goblin. Isn't that what we had the one character sheet? So let's see. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, where's the alignment? Here we go. Got the alignment here. So, of course, because this is written for Swords and Wizardry, we have 3 alignments. We've got lawful, we've got neutral, and we have chaotic. I like Swords and Wizardry. I got to be honest, I am one of those kind of first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons kind of fans where I like to have my character culture, say like, elf, dwarf, halfling, be separate. So it's not its actual class. Like, basic and expert and Swords and Wizardry kind of do have the culture as the actual class. So you're an elf. That's kind of your character class. But I kind of, go in the other direction. I like the old school first edition AD&D. So we got a couple of cool bookmarks here. So where are these stuck in? Let's see where those were stuck in here, because I see there's an edge. Let's see where we got this. Or is that the top? And these are there we go. I'm gonna say where's the end of them? There we go. Cool. So we get a couple of these. I like that. I always like when we get little bookmarks in our hardcover books. So we've got still more creatures and things like that. The Anything Thief. Wingilled Landfish. It's a land shark. Cool artwork too. And I have to say that the artwork, I'm taking a guess, it might all be the same artist. But if it is not, at least we are seeing that the artwork all does have a similar vein. But taking a look at it, it does look like it's probably the same artist. The Four-Eyed Grabber. Slugging Black Shell. Six-Headed Sewer Gripe. I always dig old school role playing games because of a lot of the monsters. Especially, we see a lot of the OSR releases, say like the Midderlands here, and you get these monsters, these creatures that the players don't know what they are, as opposed to stuff where you're playing D&D, you're playing Pathfinder, your players have all probably read through every monster manual out there, so you don't get to surprise them with some really off the wall kind of gonzo stuff unless you come up with it yourself. So this is an adventure, Spies in the Sewers, written by Mark Nolan. All right, so we get an adventure. Oh, hey, way too much read aloud. Way too much. It's supposed to be about 3 or 4 sentences there, folks. I'm just kidding. I never do read alouds anyway. Even if I'm running a published adventure and it's got read alouds, I just paraphrase what's in the box. Unless it's something that specifically has to be quoted, and then I'll actually, like if it's dialogue, then I will memorize it. So we get, looks like a pretty short adventure here. Then we get some more adventure ideas. We got some nuggets. We got some hex map locations. So as I was pointing out, we do have the various different numbered hexes in the map for the Midderlands. So it's telling us what we can find. So right there, we got some cool little hex crawl action going on here. The Midderhenge. Very nice. This looks very cool. Now we get into the appendix here. Midfolk insult table. Get festivals and gatherings, weather type. Here's the names and trades. Additional hamlet or small town names. Some of this stuff we already saw on the Game Master screen. So we have crap you find at Midfolk. And we get the OGL at the end here. So all in all, we've got 224 pages. We get a little advertisement for Wormskin. Dolanwood is another cool old school Renaissance setting as well. So that is the Midderlands book. Now let's take a look at the Midderlands Expanded. So this is the second book. Now these two books here, you can get in hardcover. They carry an MSRP of around $36 each. I have seen that you can get these on Drive-Thru RPG as PDFs for $14, and I want to say it's $14.67. So we've got the Rat Dog Inn, the Queen's Royal Guard. There's some of the artwork that we saw that's on the back of that poster. All right, so on the back of that map, which is a poster. So here we get some more locations, some oddities, some folk. We get more creatures. We get another adventure. Looks like we might get a couple of adventures here. And we get some adventure hooks. We get more hex locations as well. So jump on in here. Why expand? How much gloomium? So here we go into locations, highways, and tradeways. Different forests. So it's talking about different forests throughout the Midderlands. Get some islands. There we go. Or if those are considered the Haven Islands, or if these are just smaller islands. So we see a little bit different artwork. Doesn't seem to be as much artwork either. So going through some of these other locations here. It's quite a few castles. All right, so we've got a hell of a lot more locations here. There we go. There's more of the art style that we saw in the core book. Londonshire, the great London, the capital of Havenland and home of the Queen. There is a whole lot of locations here. And, of course, I'm sure these are probably marked off on the map as well. So we should be getting in, I would guess, probably into the bestiary shortly. Oh, there we go. Looks like a great old one having a bit of rum. Or I should say great old one. What am I thinking? A deep one. Duh. I believe there is a bit of a kind of spooky vibe that runs through the Midderlands too. Scotland. I'll take a guess that that's Scotland. So we get some locations there as well. Well, there is just loads and loads of info. We talk about the coastal waters, shipwrecks of note, Redbeard's revenge. So, of course, all these locations are also providing you with little adventure nuggets. So we get into oddities. It's like, it's like a sister book to the Necronomicon, I guess, huh? Crown of the Staff of Blood. Gripe Blade. Does it make you complain? That is something else that you'll see a lot in OSR role-playing games and supplements. Are the magic items are a lot more than just, oh, it's +1 to hit orcs, +3 damage against dragons. I love magic items that have just like kind of a story to them, and they have an effect. They do something as opposed to just give you a bonus. I love the ones that kind of give you a kind of a, like a boon and a bane at the same time. There's one old school adventure where there's a sword that you can find, and the sword can detect someone lying. It'll tell you if someone's lying, but you're not allowed to lie. So your character, if they have that, they can't lie themselves. So these are more the oddities there. Notable personages. We got some NPCs in here. Oh, we get a new class? Looks like we get a new class. Oh, yeah, here we go. New classes. Witchfinder. So we got the Witchfinder. We've got Highland Shaman. Dragon Singer. Now we get into the bestiary. Here are our two bookmarks once again. Branch Spike Golem. Wow. That's pretty wild. Oh, heck, what's going on here? What is going on? We're getting a little countdown timer. That should not have been popping up there. Sorry about that, gang. So yes, I use my Nikon camera for the overhead shots, which actually does have a limitation to how long it will actually allow a video feed from. Whereas I shoot the live show on my Panasonic Lumix G85 which does not have any limitation on recording time. So my apologies on that popping up there. So we've got a few different creatures here. Cool artwork once again. It's the mud cow. The shark folk. Hey, I was kidding about the land shark. Tentacle horrors of Middergloom. Oh, lots of creatures there. Cool. Okay, so then we get an adventure here. So it is the Rat Dog Inn. This adventure is intended to be a horror/weird encounter, and as such contains some quite disturbing details. Dun dun dun. Okay, so we get a little ground floor plan of the inn itself. A little map of the cellar. A keyed location here. Almost, it's not a. It doesn't look like it's a dungeon. It looks like it's almost like caverns or caves. So here's the key of the locations. And then we get some adventure hooks. And then we get the hex location. So, once again, some cool stuff for hex crawls. I know there are a lot of folks out there who really enjoy the hex crawl aspect of OSR. And then we get an appendix here. So, more superior beings. So, some of the deities, it looks like that some of the inhabitants worship. Dukes and Duchesses of Haverland. Got a relationship diagram. Oh, so it's kind of giving us kind of a chart of how all these different nobles are related, kind of like to the queen. There's that die drop charts. Talking about how to use that. Hidden signs and symbols. Personalizing your equipment. Burglaring, and the OGL. All right, so that is the Midderlands Expanded. Then we also have the city of Great London. Let's jump on in here. So this is where we got those pre-generated characters. So we're going to get into the history of the city. Get some heraldry for the various different wards of the city. Talking about the government, the queen, taxation. We're getting another chart of like a relationship chart here. Law and order. Different ridiculous law. Yeah, okay. So that is based in reality. There are plenty of laws that are still on the books, both here in the U.S. as well as overseas in Europe, in England, that are absolutely ridiculous. So, is that a UFO? Almost looks like that's a UFO. Talking about, here we get into the inner wards. So, talking about each of the inner wards, things that are going on in these wards, as well as the heraldry for each ward. Looks like there's some locations as well. These are the locations that are marked off on the map. I like that. I like where it talks about 10 things that are happening. It's always cool for a game master to be able to just kind of reach on in or roll a die and randomly pull something out. Oh, this is what's going on. So as an example here, we have a gloom bugger filling up lanterns. A rat catcher trying to discreetly leave a dwelling with a sack full of dead rats, or mouselings. I don't know if we're going to get more creatures in this book or not. I guess probably not, because this is really focused on the city itself. But we might run across some NPCs. So we're still going through looking at the various different wards. Looks like we have quite a few of them. The Queen's Estate. Then we start getting into the outer wards. This will really give you a good feel for the city of London, or as I kept saying, Lundin. So we're going to start seeing some info outside of the city itself, the outskirts. We're getting some location information here. The Fetid Otter, the White Crow. So we get for an example here, we've got the white, and then we actually get a little map. So it says the White Crow. It tells us what ward it's in, who owns it, who occupies it, information about who occupies it, some features, some secrets. Dorgel's house. Cool. I like how each one of these has an image of what it looks like. It gives you a nice feel for the architecture of the city as well. Even though, of course, this guard tower is not going to be like right there in the center of the city. Guild of Messengers, the Red House, got a gambling house there, Stab's Meats. Hi, I'm Stab. Enjoy my meats. It kind of gives you, some of these actually give you an image of the proprietor, Cleopatra's Needle. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Cleopatra's Needle. That's pretty wild. Instead of Cleopatra's Needle. Seeing that I am not familiar with London, I am sure that there are some locations here that are kind of a takeoff of actual locations in the real city. I'm just not, catching up on because not catching. Simply because I'm not familiar. All right, so now we've got some areas outside. Okay, so here we've got some new rules here for rooftop actions. Oh, hey, we are going to get a few creatures in that. So we get some oddities. We get some items again. The Witch Pig deck. Hey, there we go. We got a little bestiary. So we got a few new monsters in here. The Pikas for the City Watch. Queen's Royal Guard, Queen's Spies. Oh, Giants. Okay. Moles. Oh, I'm sorry. Males and offspring. So organizations, guilds, and groups. Here we go. Here are our pre-generated characters here. Then we get some information about the churches, other guilds, adventure hooks. And we get a few more tables here for alley names, merchant or street vendor table, quick tavern or inn patron table. That is one thing that you do see quite a bit of in old school Renaissance games too, are random tables. See quite a few of those. In fact, there are some books out there that all they are our random tables. All right, so that is the City of Great London book. Now we'll finish up by just peeking through these Midderzines. So these are available. I want to say I think these are $6 for the physical zines, and I want to say like $3.47. Oh, to point, I should mention the City of Great London over at I believe this carries an MSRP of $55, and then on Drive-Thru RPG you can get the PDF for $18.36. Now I did receive this bundle from Glenn Seal, who basically runs MonkeyBlood Design, and these came from England. Now, I do believe there are some retailers who are carrying the physical copies of the books, maybe not necessarily the zines, but they're carrying the physical copies of the books here in the US, and the MSRP that I'm giving you is pretty much their MSRPs. So let's just take a quick peek here. So we got issue 1 of the Midderzine. So kind of telling us, looks like we've got some things that are going on in the Midderlands. Hexes in unique locations. So we get some more locations for some cool hex crawling. Get a new village. We get a new cult. New non-player characters. Get some new monsters. Gloom Rats. And we get a new class, the Crowmaster. I'm the Crowmaster. And we get new spells covering shit. There you go. First level spell. Caster covers the target in foul smelling, runny, and lumpy. You got it. Shit. Bag of crap. Jeez. Got some new oddities as well. So that's issue 1. Here we got issue 2. Looks like issue 2 may have a few more pages than issue 1. Looks like actually a little question and answer session in there. So here's the Gazette. We get a new cult. Get some random tables. Slightly less shit, +1 weapons. There you go. Hexes in unique locations, so we get some more locations. Here we get a Port Mole Hollow. Got some new monsters. We get a new class, the Woad Rager, a crazed Scottish berserker clad in green, gloomium-infused paint, a kilt, and little else. So that is our new class that we've got. A couple more spells. Gloom Touch and Summon Bile Dog. Got some new oddities here as well. And new flora and fauna. So that is issue 2. And then finally, we got issue 3. So we get Gazette again. So we've got a new location, 6 Oaks. It's like a town. So it looks like we've got some new locations, some new maps. So that's kind of cool. Got some new monsters. A Gloomium Elemental. It's the Eyeballer. Got a new class, Phantom Piper. Bagpipes are the national instrument of Scotland, and pipers are respected and popular figures in every shire. They often accompany the shire folk to war, encouraging them to feats of incredible bravery. Must be sort of like a bard, almost. Oh, here's a spell list. Yeah, I guess they are spellcasters. Got some new oddities. Some new items as well. And that is issue 3 of the Midderzine. So, like I said, there is just loads and loads of old school Renaissance goodness in this bundle. So let's swing on back over to the other camera and I will take it from there. So there's a look at just about everything you're going to find for the Midderlands Fantasy OSR setting from MonkeyBlood Design. I do want to point out that there are a few different bundles. So what I just shared with you is from the Watcher on the Shore bundle. It's kind of like the big bundle of OSR goodness. I will have reviews of the books and the zines in the very near future. So don't forget, join me live Mondays through Fridays right here on YouTube with the Daily Dope as I share the latest tabletop gaming news of the day. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So until I see you next time, happy trails. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-boo, zubba-dubba-dubba-dubba-boo, zibba-dibba-dibba-dibba-boo. Hey, hi, I didn't realize that you were still here. You must be sitting waiting for YouTube and its infinite wisdom to actually autoplay you your next video. Well, if that happens to be the case, I only have 20 seconds for me to be able to provide all this info to you, so get ready. If you'd like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang, click right here. Or if you'd like to check out the latest episode of the Daily Dope, click right here. Or if you'd like to check out a randomly selected video, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.